Hello dear students, I am Dr. Chandrakala HD. In this video, I'll be teaching you two network layer topics, routing tables and routing algorithms. Specifically, we'll concentrate on one type of routing algorithm, the adaptive routing algorithm. So first, the routing table. The main function of a router is to route packets which arrive at the router to the destination in the best optimal path. To support the router to perform this function, the routing table is very useful. A router has a routing table which it will consult before routing the packets to their destination. So what does this routing table contain? The routing table contains all the available routes for all destinations in the network. So you name a node, it will the routing table will have all available routes to reach that particular node. The router will always consult the routing table in order to determine the optimal path or route through which the data packets can be sent. When I say optimal, the meaning of optimal is shortest distance, less number of hops, or less congestion routes. So this is the meaning of optimal route. Optimal means best route in terms of the speed with which data can be sent on the network. The routing table contains three main information. The first information is IP addresses and subnet masks of all the nodes in the network, IP addresses of all the routers in the network, and interface information among the network devices and channels. So the information of the interfaces which connect network devices to their channels. There are two types of routing tables, static routing table and dynamic routing table. The static routing table by nature is static. So the routes in this routing table are fed manually by the network administrator and they are not refreshed automatically. So whatever routes are written in the routing table manually, the router will follow only those particular routes. And router doesn't know how to change these routes in the routing table in case any congestion occurs or some unforeseen situation occurs in the network where one route is not available and it has to switch to some other route. So this change cannot be done by the router. So this particular kind of table, static routing table, is suitable only for small networks which contain only 2 to 3 routers. The second type of routing table is dynamic routing table. In dynamic routing table, the router dynamically keeps changing the routes in the routing table using some routing protocols. So it keeps on communicating with all other routers using the routing protocols and collect the information of the currently available best routes. So, and with every time it receives information, it keeps updating its routing table. So whenever a packet comes to the router will send it across to the destination with the best possible route and the best current route which is in the network. So this routing table is suitable for large networks where there are large number of routers and large number of nodes. So that was about routing table. Now coming to routing algorithms. There are two types of routing algorithms which are used, adaptive routing algorithms and non-adaptive routing algorithms. The first class of algorithm, adaptive routing algorithm, will be learned in the next part of the video. So the adaptive routing algorithms are the ones which can change their routing decisions based on changes that occur in the network topology as well as the data traffic in the network. So the adaptive routing algorithms have a capability of getting routing information from their adjacent routers and all other routers in the network. Not only adjacent, some routers can collect information from all the routers which are connected in the network. So with this information, they can maintain the routing table most up to date with all current working nodes, congestion free paths available. Here in adaptive routing algorithm, the optimization parameters like distance, number of hops, and estimated transit time are considered in order to find the optimal path. So a path is an optimal path which is of short distance and has less number of hops, and estimated transit time or transmission time of the packet is less. Number of hops means the number of jumps which the packet has to take to reach the destination before it reaches the destination. So the number of hops is equal to the number of intermediate nodes which are present between the source and destination node. So these three parameters are considered to find out the optimal path between the source and destination. The adaptive routing algorithms, again, they contain three subcategories: centralized, isolated, and distributed routing algorithms. In centralized adaptive routing algorithms, a central node will be designated in the network to collect information about the network topology and the current network traffic and all information about the nodes and routers in the network. So its single job is to collect all these information. So, and not only collecting the information, it has to transmit this information to all the routers in the network. So the advantage of this kind of routing algorithm is only one node is required in order to collect all the information and send it across to the routers. So it's not that all the routers have to keep on collecting the information. The routers can simply locate the best path from the routing table and transmit the packets in that particular route. But the disadvantage is this particular centralized node might become a bottleneck for the network, because if it goes down, the entire network will experience a failure. The second adaptive routing method is isolated method. In this node, in this method, a node doesn't communicate with other routers in order to collect information about the routes and nodes and other routers. It decides on its own in which route the packet must be routed without consulting any other nodes or routers. The sending node will never check any status of the link or the traffic on the link. It will simply take its own decision for finding the route to the next destination. The disadvantage with this particular technique is the router might send across a packet through a congested route, and this might result in a delay in receiving the packet at the destination. So there are a few examples of isolated algorithms, isolated routing algorithms. One such example is hot potato algorithm. So in hot potato method, when a packet comes to the node, it will try to get rid of that particular packet. The node will get rid of that particular packet as fast as possible by putting it on the shortest output queue without regard to where that link is leading to. So out of the queues which that particular node has, whichever is the shortest, the packet will be put to that particular queue. So some variants of hot potato algorithm contain some static routing as well. So whenever the node sees some destination address, it has a statically preloaded route for that particular node in the routing table. So using that particular static route also, it can route the packet. So when a packet arrives, routing algorithm will take into account the static weight or static route for that particular link and the queue length. So whether how many packets are waiting in a queue for a particular link. So whichever queue is short, it will put the packet in that particular queue. So that is hot potato variation of isolated adaptive routing algorithm. The second variant is backward learning. So in this method, the routing table at each node, it gets modified based on the information coming in the incoming packet. So one such information which is used by the backward learning algorithm is the hop count. So in each packet, there is some information regarding how many hops the packet has put currently in order to reach this particular node. So there will be source node address, there will be destination address, and a hop count which is present in the incoming packet. So seeing this, the particular node will update its own routing table. So if at all, say the source node and destination node address which is loaded in this particular incoming packet, if that particular route from source node to destination node has a more number of hops in the routing table of the node, it will modify with the hop count given by the incoming packet. If at all, the hops between the source node and destination node, which is entered in the routing table of that particular node, is less as compared to what is given in the incoming packet, then the node will retain its own previous route. So based on the information present in the incoming packet regarding hop count, the node will regularly update its own routing table. The problem with this particular technique is if the best route goes down, then since it has already erased its previous entry in the routing table, if the current route, best route, which it has come to know by the incoming packet hop count, if that goes down due to congestion or any other network error, then it cannot recall the previous entry which was there in the routing table. It doesn't have any second best route to follow for that particular node. Hence, all the nodes have to forget the stored information periodically and they have to start all over again. So otherwise, data loss will increase with this particular method. So this is how an isolated routing technique without consulting any other adjacent nodes or routers. This is how it will be able to route the packets with the best possible route to the destination. Either they will use hot potato technique, where as soon as the packet comes, the router will put it to the shortest queue which is available for it, or backward learning, seeing the hop count in the incoming packet, it will decide which is the best path, or it will update the routing table. If at all, if there is a better route in terms of hop count between the source and destination node, this information might be available in the incoming packet and it will be used to update the routing table. So this is how the isolated routing algorithms work. The third type is distributed routing technique. So this adaptive routing technique, what it does is it will receive information from all its neighboring nodes and routers, and it keeps updating its routing table with that particular information, and seeing the current routing table details, it will take a decision about the way or path in which the packet has to be sent so that it reaches the destination as fast as possible. The disadvantage with the distributed technique is between the interval, the router receives information and sends the packet. So in this interval, if something changes in the network or suddenly congestion occurs, suddenly some link breaks down, then the packet may be delayed. So, but compared to the isolated and centralized technique, distributed technique is more dynamic in terms of the routing table information. Thank you.